Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda.
We're the Village's Newcomers. Our show tries to bring you the very best information we can about helping you have the best retirement you can. And today we are so happy to bring an expert in that field. We're bringing you a life coach. Never too late to get happy. Am I right, Nancy?
That's absolutely right. It's never too late to get happy.
This is Nancy Stampahar, and she's going to tell us all about her program. She's a speaker. She has seminars and talks all around the villages and probably other places.
That's right.
But thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you both. How fun is this to be in Jerry and Linda's living room? Fantastic. So looking forward to being here and being in the villages here right across Bonifay. We're neighbors. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is a life coach?
Sure. A life coach is actually, it's been around for, many decades now, and we help people get unstuck in their life. We help people enjoy their life. We help people be productive, have fulfilling lives, hold them accountable a little bit. We're their greatest cheerleaders. We encourage them to enjoy their life and make the most of it. We worked our butts off for years, dealt with bad bosses, rush hour traffic, dreaming of this time in our life. And then now what do? We're here in the villages and there's so much to do. And then all of a sudden, we're having a good time and then the honeymoon could be over at some point.
Well, you're the expert, so let's ask you, how long have you been here? Where did you come from? And what activities have you immersed yourself into?
Okay, well, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I've been down here for 4 years. Actually, my 79-year-old mother was the one that decided to come down here. At 79, she says, I figured it out. I know where I want to be. This is it. At that time, I was traveling. I do, the training and development, leadership, management, coaching. That's all my background. And I traveled. My mom, I knew, was going to need some help. I said, I'll go. I never knew about the villages. Did a little Google, said that's where my mom's going, so that's where I'm going. So I've been here 4 years, absolutely love it. It is a great place for me. I plan on staying around. I love to walk. I love my work. So my work is kind of my, my fun thing too. And I take care of my mom, which is an honor at this point. And I am a member of the women's working group.
Okay.
The Villages Working Women's Group. And then we have one for women business owners and everything. It's just great fun. I enjoy. So my work is my fun, and I ride my bike and I walk and I try to stay fit.
Well, it sounds like that you're having a great time.
I'm having a blast. I love the villages.
Now, your mom is 79?
Well, she's now 83, going to be 84 this year. So it's been 4 years.
Yeah. Is she involved in anything?
Not at this point. Unfortunately, she does have some medical conditions, and doesn't have, all of her abilities to do everything that she used to do. Right. And that's part about with retirement. In our golden years can get a little rusty sometimes,
Well, back in Pennsylvania, I'm sure you worked. What was your job back there?
Well, the past 20 years, I've been a coach in various capacities. I've been a training and development person working for companies or on my own, and a lot of keynote speaking. And I've been a keynote speaker down here as well for the Enrichment Academy. Just a couple weeks ago, we had a great gig there, over 160 people, right on this subject matter.
Great.
Yep.
She's a keynote speaker. Now, Linda has come out of her shell. Have you noticed?
Oh, I noticed that, especially yesterday, modeling herself.
I'm not a speaker. I'm very out of my zone in speaking.
Well, you're doing much better. Well, you've put together a little program. Can we talk about some of these ideas?
Sure, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Congratulations on your retirement. Now what?
Now what? Now we have fun, and now we deal with the challenges. Now we deal with this huge transition. It is a huge transition. When we go from a year of our career, or whether we were a homemaker, whether we had a position, whatever our career may have been, we make this transition. It is huge. All of a sudden, our social network, our identity, our purpose, our getting up, our routines in the morning, they're all over. You're free. Yeah. You're free to sleep in, stay in your pajamas all day. You're free to go play pickleball. You're free to play golf. You're free to make new friends. You're free to become who you could have always been. You're free to do whatever you want. But the deal is that when we go ahead, we are focused on our retirement savings, that we have enough money. We want to go ahead and make sure we have enough money we're not going to outgrow our money. Right. However, in this day and age, due to longevity, we've got anywhere from 10 to 30 plus years to live a life. And that was our whole career, living that for 30 years. So what are you going to do? People don't really plan for that. They don't plan for the transition. They don't plan for whatever it may be. The Social Security Administration just shared that one out of 4 people who are 65 are going to live to over 90. What are you going to do how old are you? 65? I'm getting there. So there's a good chance we can live over to 90. And how are we going to handle all the changes in our body, in our health, the losses that we deal with? Retirement and getting old, it's a lot of fun. We're wiser, we're stronger. However, there are a lot of challenges that happen.
Do you find that as you talk to people that you find some retirees look forward to it, structure their whole life to that retirement, and then they're not happy when they retire?
Absolutely. There's 40% of the people unretire. That means that they go back to work right away. They can't handle the void. There's so many quiet days. There's so much. There's the lack of structure. There's the lack of who am I? What am I? What's my purpose? What's bringing me meaning? So the honeymoon part when we retire typically lasts about 1 to 2 years, typically. But in the villages, we have a lot longer because there's so much to do down here. This place is ideal for a wonderful lifestyle with all that there is. So typically about 4 years. Then all of a sudden people are like, now what? What do I do now? So then they need to figure that out. And there's different possibilities from volunteering, from going ahead and being a lifelong learner. We have the Enrichment Academy here in the villages, lots of classes people can take, the speaker series, which I'm part of for that part. There's a lot that we can do to keep learning and growing. Some people end up going back to work. They're in the boomeranger lifestyle. They go ahead and they do it for a year or two, and then they go back. You're saying, no, Jerry, I don't want to get back to that world.
Well, we have really, though. We've gone back to work.
I'm not a lazy person, but I don't want a time clock.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just come here and, you're on your own schedule. If you want to play golf, play golf. You want to go to your stretch class. Many times she says, it's time for stretch class today. I don't think I'm going to go.
Yeah,
Right.
I changed my mind.
But if you have a job, you don't have that option. You've got to go.
Yeah.
We know people that have come here and gone back to work
Right.
and then retired from their job after they went back to work.
Right. Very common. It's very common. People keep saying they're retiring, and they just can't unretire. That's one of the common circumstances. They just can't retire. Now, there's something about work which is great because it makes us feel productive. It gives us that purpose. It strokes our ego when we're accomplishing, some things. However, there are other alternatives. We all have different talents and passions within us that are undiscovered, untapped, and that's what I do to help people. I go ahead, I help them figure out what their skills are. Like me personally, I recycled my skills to be focused just on retirement life coach. I've been a career coach, I've been an executive coach, management coach, but now I took all my skills and focused right here just on retirees.
We've met very few people that came here and did not like it. But the ones that we have met, and we have met some, were people that did not get involved.
Right.
That stayed to themselves. They assumed that the villages would come to them. And it doesn't, does it?
No, you have to go after things in life. It's fine to stay home and, enjoy staying in your pajamas all day. That's fine once in a while, and it's actually kind of fun. But to go ahead and do that all the time, no, it doesn't. You have to look at the recreation guide. The Daily Sun is a great resource. Find out what's going on. And one of the challenges we experience when we come down here is that we go back too soon. We miss the kids, we miss the grandkids, we miss the family. And so many people give up too soon. But this is a great time. Retirement is a time for freedom. Retirement is a time to thrive, and you make new friends. I still have my good long-standing friends, but when people move away, there's a thing, bye-bye, out of sight, out of mind. And so the phone doesn't ring as much with your old friends. But the villages is an awesome place to make new friends. I've already made new friends in my 4 years here, and so I feel like I'm getting a nice network, I'm getting a nice support group, and you do have to go after it.
Another thing we have found that when we know people that really enjoy the villages, but then their health suddenly declines. They can't be active. They can't get out and do things. The glow of the villages really diminishes at that time.
It does, and it's sad that, our health declines. And on average, the CDC says that 63 years of age is the average age where we get some sort of medical condition.
Wow.
On average, it's 63. And 75% of our outcomes and our well-being and health is due to our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And 25% is only genetics. So we need to be proactive, and, do everything that they say. Watch what we eat, exercise. Walking is so good for you. You meet people, especially if you have a pet and you're walking your dog. How many friends have you made walking your dog, Linda and Jerry?
I know so many dogs' names without the owners' names, but I do. I meet a lot of people
Exactly. So there's ways to meet friends. And I also, when I do my work, I say classes to chairs to classes is what I say. Whatever it is, if your health has declined, start moving and stretching, do things in your seat. If you can't get out, to go to a class, do whatever you can. Yeah, you're like, you sit in your recliner over there, Jerry, don't you? Oh, look at him, honey. There he goes.
I take the remote, I do some curls.
Yeah. Perfect. That's good. I tell you, living with my mom, she still is fighting and trying. Every once in a while, I'll look over at her, and it's so cute and gentle, but she's moving.
Yeah.
You have to keep your mind active. You have to keep your body active. But it is easier said than done. We like things nice and easy. We get in our comfort zone, easy breezy, and it's hard to get out. The best remedy is to just get up and go. It takes a lot of discipline to get older. It takes a lot of discipline to enjoy our retirement. And you got to pick a buddy to be accountable with. Fortunately, you're married, keep each other accountable. That's what part of my job, what I do too, but it's important because we don't want our health to decline. But there are things you can do. You have YouTube. Yeah. You can do. That's how I watch Linda and Jerry all the time, right there on the TV, flicking it on there. But you go ahead and you just got to keep your body moving. There are other things you can do besides play pickleball, play golf. There are lots of clubs in the villages. What do we have, over 3,000?
Oh, yeah.
So you have, whether it's playing cards and, whether it is you're into politics, there's political clubs. There's clubs from, where you are from. So
we even went back and did ukulele for the
There
first
you
time.
go.
That was really fun.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many things to do. We have all these hidden passions and talents. And here's one I hear a lot. I'm bored.
Oh my goodness.
How many people here have you said, I'm bored? It's easy to get bored because you're not being exploring. You're not exploring all the possibilities. Again, you never know what you're missing unless you get involved in and say, wow, that's fun. I never thought. Look at you two at the camera. I don't know if you ever had that. This is your later in life passion.
Yeah.
You're having fun. You're stars now.
Oh, wow.
I have a few more. I would really love to take or learn to paint. I want to paint a sandhill crane or a blue heron, or do my own artwork maybe. I wouldn't mind sculpting. I love to try archery or air guns.
Right.
Just there are so and water volleyball. It's just endless.
One thing I can tell people, one activity I do when I coach, and I'll give you guys one here. It's called the curiosity list. Not the bucket list, because we don't want anyone kicking the bucket, okay? We want the curiosity list. Think about when you were younger. What was it that you were always curious about? Something that you've done before, but you let it go. Just start a list of it, and I guarantee you're going to find some way to do it down here in the villages. And that keeps your mind active. That gives you some enjoyment in your life, even when your health declines.
I started teaching in 1979, and way before that movie ever came out, The Bucket List, I had my students write a lifetime bucket list of things they might want to do, whether it was skydiving or catching a 5-pound bass or visit the Eiffel Tower or whatever it was. But I just think that's fun to set those goals and then realize when you've met them, it's a feeling of satisfaction.
Absolutely.
And we don't ever stop adding to our goals. There are other things we want to do.
Exactly. And again, like I said, 63 years old is the average age when a medical condition can happen. So think about this. If you've had this bucket list, if you've had this curiosity list, And how long are you going to live? We never know what that's going to be. So I'm very passionate about helping people make the most of their life, whether I was coaching them when they were younger or now that they're older. This is it. You too, you've lived your life. I've lived my life. We're stronger, we're wiser, and this is our last call. This is our last call to be able to enjoy it. And there's, so many circumstances. If we're a widower, that's a very tough time.
It is.
When you decided it is time to retire, for us, we retired from teaching at 55. We did not move here until
We're 62.
age 62.
Yeah.
But do you encourage couples to get together and maybe make pros and cons or lists or decide together when they want to retire?
Very good point. As a couple, we go ahead and we decide if we're going to have kids or not. We decide on our future, our goals together. And when we retire, again, it's not talked about as much. So what's your vision of retirement, Jerry? What's your vision of retirement, Linda? What are your values? Are you going to be on the same page? Does one of you want to go travel? Does one of you want to just stay low? Actually, when I was speaking at Rohan a couple of weeks ago, someone came up to me and said, I'm one of those, the husband and wife, they're on opposite pages, so I go through the process with each of them individually, and then you try to work it out together. But that is very common. However, it is best before we retire, ideally, to try to have a plan. What are you going to retire to? And are you and your partner's spouse on the same page? If not, try the best. We know it's always compromise. So that's what you have to do. But that's a big challenge. It's a huge challenge.
Nancy, you said there are 3 changes that everybody goes through. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. Everyone through retirement goes through these. The number one is our identity. Who are we without being a police officer? Who are we without being a teacher? Who are we without being a CEO, a project manager, whatever it may be? In our society, we are identified by our work. And so you go to figure out, you may be an empty nester too. The kids are all gone. So who am I without parenting? Whatever the role may be. So our identity is the number one. Who are we? Part of our identity, is, figuring out who we are. And, as I was saying earlier, a lot of people unretire and go back. You don't have to go back to the big grind of the daily work, but just even a part-time job. Here in the villages, you can be an usher, entertainment, the rec department needs people. If you can't stand, there are plenty of jobs where you can sit, but it gives you that place to go to. It gives you that structure. It gives you that social network, that you have. And if you just do 10, 15 hours a week, it's just whatever you can do. It gives you that, helps you with your identity part if you can't figure that out.
Our friend Tom, some of you have seen him in our videos. He helped us with the water heater and the tank and the dryer vent.
Clean.
He's the neighborhood guy. He's the handyman.
Yeah.
Wonderful. His wife does the same thing. Every day she's off helping somebody.
Yeah.
We've got another buddy that just took a job cleaning restrooms for the at the golf courses. So there are a lot of those types of jobs and things to do here.
Right.
Some of them you'll get paid for and some you won't. Linda works at Bargains and Blessings.
I love it.
All right.
It's so fun.
There are a lot of opportunities like that.
Right. And, and to be honest with you, though, too, there are a lot of people that need to for financial income.
Yeah.
They're the younger baby boomers and below are really going to struggle because, again, living longevity, not saving as much. So there's a lot of good reasons to work part-time, for you. The other change that everybody goes through are relationships. And by that, I mean, the kids grow up. We spend so much time with the grandkids. And one of the things that we shared earlier is that we miss the kids, we miss the grandkids. That's so common down here. And you want to get going. You just have to think long term because those kids grow up. Then they get out and they get going and I see your little ones over there. They're going to be getting involved in their own life when they start getting in relationships and everything and moving on with their careers. So you got to establish your own life, your own identity. Yeah. And plus what's really sad as we get older is that if you're outliving all your friends and your family, that's a lot of loss, to deal with. Widowers down here in the villages. And then there's solo agers. Have you heard that term, solo ager?
Well, it's funny because when we were doing our research for this, Linda saw that word and she spent about 5 minutes trying to figure out what it was.
What is a solo ager? Well, how about we them.
I thought he had a typo, and I was trying to read. I said, "What are you writing here?"
No, solo ager is a very common term now. And what that is folks who never got married.
Okay.
For a variety of reasons. Society has changed. Not everybody goes the traditional route anymore. And so a solo ager is someone who never got married, or they don't have kids, and then they were a widower, whatever it may be. And that's someone charting their own course. Who are they?
Yeah.
And that's when life can really be challenging at some point. The third change, okay, that we all go through, so number 1's identity, number 2 is relationships, and the number 3 is our activities. And you referenced that earlier. As our health declines when we get older, our activities change. We can no longer do what we used to do. And that really can be challenging. But again, movement, you got to keep the body moving and the mind active. Just keep going.
I have a friend that borrows our newspaper to do the crossword puzzles every day.
Yep.
So that's what her and her husband do now, is to keep her mind sharp.
Exactly.
So that's a great thing to do.
That's exactly right. I have a Post-it for my mother right next to the lamp
Yeah.
where she sits. She has 5 tasks she has to do every day.
Aw.
Number 1, read the Daily Sun.
Okay.
Number 2, do the crossword and the word search circle in there.
Those are hard.
I can't do the one. She does a circle by circle for her, bless her. The number 3 is to go ahead and look at the calendar, see where we're going, what we're doing. Number 4 is she has a paper tablet and to reference that each day. And number 5 are her stretches. So keeping the body moving and the mind active is very key.
That's very nice. I
Yeah.
like
I guess I need to make a list.
I'm gonna give you
Get
some
your
post-
list.
I'm getting you a
Give them a
Post-it.
Post-it from there. And the Daily Sun had last week, or this week in one of the local, about virtual games that you can do. You put
I saw
the
that.
mask and
Yes,
it helps with
yes.
dementia.
Yeah.
And we were at speech therapy yesterday, and it tells how it keeps your brain active.
Wow.
So whether I used to be a skier in Colorado,
Yeah.
so you could just do your hips moving, and you look like you're going right down the slopes.
What are those
And
things called, those virtual things that
We is one of them.
yeah, we was one. This is
had
like
one.
the latest, and
Yeah.
I really want to do that. Actually,
Yeah.
sounds
Cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Some of you have seen us looking back over here.
Yes.
One of our best things of retirement is now we're near our grandkids.
Yeah.
We moved from Indiana, and one of our sons with 5 kids moved nearby. We have 2 of them with us today.
Yeah,
so
they
we're
saw
kind
me
of
do
checking
this.
over there.
I went like this a while ago, and I went, "Oh my God, that's on camera."
Yeah, they're
I'm
behaving
looking out
very
there and I
well.
said, what are they breaking now?
They're behaving very well.
Oh, we love it when they're here.
Right now it's quiet because it's summertime. So right now I'm in the process of booking everything for the fall and the winter, for around the villages. And what I'll be doing is just posting it, different groups. If any group out there wants a speaker, I will be glad to come on out. I do not charge at the villages groups, and I will be glad to join your club and be a speaker.
Nice.
Well, this is 2 bubbly, sparkly women here, isn't it?
We had some fun.
We really appreciate you being with us today.
Well, sure. Thank you so much. It was great fun, and continued success to both of you. You've got passion. You've got purpose.
do.
You have your roles going on.
We have a calendar that we have to check every day. What are we doing today?
There
What are we
you
doing tomorrow?
go.
Oh, oops, we double bid or whatever.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. We sure enjoyed bringing it to you. A lot of great tips for you retirees.
If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button. Until next time.
See you when you get here.